My child, God is speaking to you right now with an urgency that cannot be ignored. You are not reading this by accident, and you are not here by coincidence. God says, tonight at 12:12 a.m., a sudden miracle is coming to your house, something so unexpected, so divinely timed, and so life-changing that even the angels are standing in silence, watching over you, making sure that nothing interferes with what heaven has prepared for you. God says, congratulations, because this is the moment your destiny shifts, the moment the spiritual atmosphere opens, and the moment your long-delayed blessings start running toward you. You are being guided to open this message right now because if you delay, if you doubt, if you hesitate, the door to this divine moment will not be held open forever. God says, open this fully, absorb it, let it enter your spirit, for this is the message that unlocks what is already coming your way. You have been carrying a silent weight, walking through days that felt heavy, nights that felt long, and moments that made you question your strength. You have prayed, cried, whispered your pain into the dark, and asked God why things seemed so unfair. But God saw it all. Not one tear fell without Him noticing. Not one prayer went unheard. Not one moment of struggle was ignored. And tonight, at exactly 12:12 a.m., heaven is responding in a way you are not expecting. God says, the miracle entering your home is not small, not symbolic, but something real, tangible, and meant to correct the imbalance you have been living with for far too long. God says, you have been surviving on hope while others around you took advantage of your kindness. You tried to stay strong even when your heart felt tired. You kept showing love even when others gave you nothing in return. You prayed for breakthroughs for others while you silently wished someone would pray the same for you. God says, I saw the way you stayed faithful when life tested you. I saw the way you kept moving forward even when the world tried to break you. I saw your patience in moments when you felt forgotten. And because of this, the heavens have shifted to deliver what belongs to you. Tonight at 12:12 a.m., an unexpected blessing will enter your life, and it will not be delayed, denied, or diverted. God says, this miracle has your name on it, and nothing, absolutely nothing, can stop it. The angels have already been dispatched. Archangel Michael has already cleared the path, removing spiritual interference, removing hidden enemies, removing delays and confusion. God says, you are being protected in ways you cannot even see. You are being surrounded by a divine shield that blocks every negative intention spoken against you. Every weapon formed against you is dissolving before it even gets close to you. You are safe, you are covered, and you are stepping into a night where heaven will move in your favor. God says, the reason I am calling you right now, urgently, is because you needed this message to align your spirit with the miracle that is coming. If your heart is heavy, if your energy is low, if your faith feels shaken, it can interfere with the spiritual reception of what is being delivered. God says, I am strengthening you through this message. I am awakening your spirit, reminding you who you are, reminding you that you are chosen, loved, and protected. What is coming to your house tonight is going to restore your hope, restore your joy, restore your faith, and restore what was taken from you. You think you have seen blessings before, but God says, you have not seen anything like what is about to happen next. This blessing will feel like a door that suddenly swings open after years of waiting outside. It will feel like a breath of fresh air after a long storm. It will feel like a light that enters a room that has been dark for too long. God says, this miracle will not just change your day, it will shift your entire season. You will wake up tomorrow with a new sense of peace, with clarity, with strength, and with a divine confirmation that something supernatural touched your life. God says, congratulations, because your name has been spoken in heaven today. Angels gathered. Heaven moved, and something was signed with your name on it. God says, you are not forgotten. You are not behind. You are not alone. You are not unlucky. You are blessed, and tonight that blessing becomes visible. For too long, people thought nothing special would happen in your life. They misjudged you, misunderstood your journey, and underestimated your spirit. But God says, I am lifting you up in a way that even your silent enemies will have no choice but to watch your life rise. There were people who doubted you. People who talked behind your back. People who pretended to support you but secretly hoped you would fail. But God says, I am silencing every negative voice and elevating you above every situation meant to weaken you. You are stepping into a moment where your prayers, your pain, your patience, and your persistence all come together and transform into blessings. Tonight, at 12:12 a.m., something will shift in the atmosphere around you. You may feel sudden peace. You may feel warmth. You may feel a sense of release, as if something heavy is finally leaving your life. You may feel a calmness wrapping around your spirit. This is not your imagination. This is the presence of divine energy entering your space. Archangel Michael will be near, ensuring that the blessing reaches you safely. God says, do not fear, do not worry, do not doubt. You are protected. You are safe. Nothing will go wrong with you. Nothing will harm you. Nothing will disturb the miracle on its way. God says, I am giving you something you prayed for when nobody else knew what you were going through. I am giving you something you wished for quietly, something you kept in your heart, something you thought might never come. This miracle is personal. It is tied to your soul. It is something you deserve, something you earned, something I prepared for you long before you asked. God says, my timing is perfect, and tonight my timing aligns with your destiny. You may wonder why 12:12 a.m. God says, because 12:12 is a divine alignment number. It symbolizes completion, restoration, and the beginning of a new path. When the clock hits that moment, heaven will release what has been held for you. You may not hear anything in the physical world, but in the spiritual realm, it will sound like a trumpet. God says, trust this timing, because it is not random. It is orchestrated, my child, you have cried enough. You have suffered enough. You have struggled enough. You have waited enough. God says, now you receive. Now you rise. Now you step into a new chapter. The miracle that is coming tonight will remove something that has been blocking you. It will open the door that was locked. It will bring clarity to something you were confused about. God says, you will understand why certain things fell apart. You will understand why certain people left. You will understand why the delay was necessary. Tonight marks the shift, God says, congratulations, because after tonight, you will not be the same. The energy around you will change. The opportunities around you will change. The way people treat you will change. The way you see yourself will change. You will no longer feel ignored or undervalued. God says, I am placing favor upon you so strongly that even those who do not wish you well will feel compelled to treat you differently. You will become a magnet for blessings, for opportunities, for breakthroughs. God says, there are things that were hidden from you that will now be revealed. There are blessings that were delayed that will now arrive. There are prayers that were stuck in transition that will now be delivered. Tonight, the blockage breaks. Tonight, the delay ends. Tonight, your path clears. Tonight, the miracle enters. My child, breathe deeply. Calm your heart. Release your fears. God says, I am with you. I am beside you. I am ahead of you. You are safe. Nothing will go wrong with you. Nothing will fall apart. Everything is coming together beautifully. Even if you cannot see it yet, it is already happening. God says, trust me, because I never send a message like this unless something big is about to occur. This is your divine confirmation. This is your sign. This is your moment of awakening. You are stepping out of the shadows and into the light. You are stepping out of stagnation and into movement. You are stepping out of fear and into faith. God says, the miracle that arrives tonight will be so specific to your situation that you will know instantly it came from me. It will touch the very area of your life where you felt the most helpless. It will restore the part of you that felt broken. It will strengthen the part of you that felt weak. It will fill the part of you that felt empty. And it will uplift the part of you that felt alone. My child, prepare yourself. Clean your energy. Sit in peace. Allow your heart to open. God says, I need you to be receptive, because when the miracle arrives, you must be ready to claim it. Do not doubt. Do not question. Do not fear. Open your spirit and let the blessing flow in. God says, tonight at 12:12 a.m., heaven will touch your home. And nothing will ever be the same. God says, congratulations, my child, because tonight at 12:12 a.m. a sudden miracle is coming to your house, and it carries the power to shift every broken piece in your life into divine alignment. God says, This is not a small miracle, this is something you have been unknowingly praying for with every tear, every sigh, every moment you whispered for help, every night you thought nobody heard you. Heaven heard you. Heaven was watching the exact moment your heart broke, and tonight, Heaven is responding in a way that will shock you, uplift you, strengthen you, and prove that nothing you went through was wasted. God says, open this message quickly because the blessing attached to these words is time-sensitive, and the angels are standing in formation, waiting for your spirit to receive what has already been prepared for you. God says, my child, the reason this miracle is coming exactly at 12:12 a.m. is because this hour holds a spiritual doorway that opens only for a few chosen people on specific nights. Tonight is one of those nights, and you, my beloved child, are one of those chosen ones. Heaven has been watching something heavy on your heart. God says, I saw when you were tired, but you still hoped. I saw when you were hurting, but you still tried. I saw when you doubted yourself, but you still kept faith buried somewhere deep inside. I saw when people misunderstood your heart even when you gave them pure love. I saw when you felt abandoned by the world. I saw when you were strong for everyone else but had no one to be strong for you. And I, your God, decided to intervene. God says, my child, this miracle will not look like something you expect, but it will feel like something that was meant only for you. An angel is being dispatched to your home. This angel comes with a message that carries breakthrough, peace, clarity, protection, and a divine shift. You have been praying for something that felt impossible. And heaven says, tonight, that impossibility will bow down. The weight you have been carrying for so long will begin to lift. Something inside your life will suddenly align, and you will know it was not luck, it was me. God says, this miracle will touch 3 areas of your life at once. First, something around your home, your personal space, your environment, your atmosphere, is about to be infused with divine peace. Something has been disturbing your spirit lately, and you have been feeling restless, like something is off but you cannot put it into words. God says, my child, that restlessness was spiritual, not emotional. Something unseen was trying to enter your life through worry, fear, or confusion. But tonight at 12:12 a.m., my angel will stand at your doorway and remove every unseen force that attempted to drain your peace. Your home will feel lighter. Your sleep will feel calmer. Your night will hold healing instead of fear. God says, the second area this miracle will touch is your heart. You have been feeling like your emotions have been stretched too thin. You have been carrying disappointments from people who promised they loved you, but their actions didn't match their words. You have been wondering why certain people acted the way they did, why certain relationships broke, why certain connections suddenly disappeared. God says, my child, you did not lose anything. I removed what wasn't meant for your destiny. I saw conversations behind your back, I saw jealousy toward you, I saw intentions that were not pure. I saw when someone pretended to support you while hoping quietly that you would fail. I saw when someone smiled at you but held resentment in their heart. God says, I protected you even when you didn't know you needed protection. I separated you from people who were blocking the blessing I wanted to send to you. Tonight at 12:12 a.m., your heart will feel something shift, peace will enter, heaviness will leave, and clarity will settle inside your spirit. For the first time in a long time, you will feel like you can breathe again, God says. The third area this miracle touches is your life path, the direction your future is about to take. Something has been delayed for too long. You have been feeling stuck, like something in your life has been moving too slowly, like your blessings were right in front of you but always seemed just out of reach. God says, I am removing every delay, every block, every closed door, every obstacle that tried to stop you from moving forward. Tonight marks the beginning of a shift. A new opportunity will find you. A message will reach you. Someone will think of you. A door you forgot about will open again. Something you thought you lost will come back in a surprising way. God says, I am restoring what was taken. Rebuilding what was broken, and releasing what has been held back. God says, my child, this miracle comes with instructions. Trust me. You don't have to understand everything. You don't have to see the entire picture right now. You don't have to know how everything will happen. You just have to trust that I am moving things for you, even in silence. Even when you feel nothing happening, heaven is working behind the curtains of your life. Angels are being positioned. Paths are being cleared. People are being moved. Hearts are being softened. Everything is lining up for you, and tonight will be the confirmation you needed. God says, many times you questioned whether I heard your prayers. Many times you felt like your voice was too small for heaven. Many times you wondered why nothing was changing even though you were trying your best. God says, my child, I have heard every prayer, even the silent ones, even the ones you didn't know how to say out loud, even the ones you whispered in moments of weakness. I stored every tear in my hands. I counted every moment you felt alone. Tonight, heaven responds. God says, there is something that has been bothering you deeply, something you haven't spoken about to anyone. You carry a silent burden, a hidden fear, or a private worry. And you keep saying to yourself, I'll deal with it alone. God says, my child, you don't have to carry it anymore. Tonight, I am lifting that fear from you. Tonight, my presence will surround you. Tonight, angels will stand around your bed as you sleep. Tonight, your spirit will feel protected, guarded, and deeply loved. God says, there is something unusual about your energy tonight. Your spirit is open, your heart is ready, and the heavens have recognized this exact moment as the perfect time to release something extraordinary into your life. This is why this message reached you now. Not earlier. Not later. Now. Because heaven is aligning something for you in this very hour. God says, there is someone who tried to break you emotionally. Someone who underestimated your strength. Someone who thought you would never rise again after what they did. But tonight, God says, I am restoring your strength in a way that will surprise everyone, even you. Your resilience is being reborn. Your confidence will rise. Your spirit will feel lighter. Your steps will feel guided. You will feel like something has shifted inside you, because it has. God says, tonight at 12:12 a.m., an angel will whisper something into your spirit. It may come as peace, it may come as a sudden realization, it may come as a dream, it may come as a sign in the air around you. But you will know it is divine. You will feel the shift. You will sense the presence. You will feel warmth in your heart, or a tingling sensation, or a gentle pressure, or an overwhelming calm. This is the confirmation that heaven has touched you. God says, my child, I am sending this miracle because you didn't give up. Even when everything in your life told you to quit, you still pushed forward. Even when pain was heavy, you still dreamed. Even when disappointment hurt you, you still believed that somehow, someday, life would get better. That faith is why this miracle has been released. God says, blessings delayed are not blessings denied. The reason some things took so long is because I was preparing something much better. You were not being punished. You were being positioned. And every delay was actually protection. Every closed door saved you. Every ending was a beginning in disguise. God says, my child, I need you to prepare yourself emotionally and spiritually for this next chapter, because it will be unlike anything you've experienced before. Opportunities will arrive unexpectedly. People will show up with good intentions. Your intuition will get stronger. Your direction will become clearer. Your inner strength will grow. And suddenly, things that felt impossible months ago will begin to unfold naturally. God says, this miracle carries long-term blessings. It will not be temporary. It will not be unstable. It will not disappear. This blessing is permanent. This blessing will stay with you. This blessing will multiply into more blessings. This blessing will mark the beginning of a new season in your life. God says, my child, I am proud of you. I am proud of your patience. I am proud of your heart. I am proud of the way you love. I am proud of the way you survived storms that were meant to destroy you. I am proud that you never let darkness change your goodness. You stayed pure. You stayed kind. You stayed gentle. And heaven rewards hearts like yours. God says, tonight at 12:12 a.m., I will prove to you that everything you went through has a purpose. You are stepping into a chapter where answers come quickly, blessings come easily, and peace becomes your new normal. God says, my child, you are safe. Nothing will go wrong with you. I am with you. I am protecting you. I am guiding you. I am surrounding you with light. You do not need to fear the future. The future is blessed. The future is bright. The future is yours, God says. Open your heart now. Receive this blessing before the divine window closes. Tonight, at 12:12 a.m., your miracle arrives. God says this is the moment you were meant to open with your full heart, and He is watching you right now as you read these words, because He has chosen this exact minute to reach you. My child, congratulations, for heaven is preparing something extraordinary for you tonight at 12:12 a.m., and what is coming toward your home is not ordinary, not random, not accidental. This is a miracle that has been traveling through the spiritual realm for months, waiting for the one night when your spirit would be ready to receive it. God says if you had waited, if you had ignored this message, if you had scrolled past this moment, something important would have slipped from your hands. That is why God pulled your spirit to open this exactly now. God says, my child, breathe deeply, because something that was locked for years is about to burst open in your life. God wants you to know that this miracle is not just a blessing, it is a divine answer, a spiritual turning point, and a heavenly intervention that will shift the way your next season unfolds. Tonight at 12:12 a.m., the spiritual gate opens for only a short window, and it opens only for those whose hearts are aligned with divine timing. God says you are one of those rare souls. He says you may have doubted yourself, but heaven never doubted you. Heaven saw you crying quietly, worrying silently, fighting battles without telling anyone, keeping yourself strong while your soul carried more than it should. God says you have been faithful in moments where others would have broken, and now heaven is rewarding the faith you showed in darkness. God says a miracle is moving toward your house. It is not metaphorical, it is real. It is not imaginary, it is spiritually scheduled. It was written for you before you were born. God says the reason you felt spiritually restless today, the reason your heart felt heavy yet expectant, the reason your soul kept telling you that something big was near is because heaven has been working behind the scenes to release something you have prayed for over and over. God says, my child, I have heard every prayer you whispered when no one was looking. I have seen every tear you wiped quickly so nobody would ask what was wrong. I know every fear you swallowed, every disappointment you hid, every heartbreak you carried quietly. Tonight, I am sending something to replace all that pain. God says you have cried enough. You have worried enough. You have walked through storms that were not meant to destroy you but to prepare you. And now, at 12:12 a.m., something that was broken is going to be restored. Something that was taken is going to return, something that was blocked is going to open, and something that was delayed is going to accelerate. God says this miracle has your name on it, your energy on it, your destiny on it. Nobody can steal it, nobody can interrupt it, nobody can sabotage it. It is sealed by heaven. God wants you to feel this message deeply, because He says the last few weeks were spiritually heavy for you. You felt drained, confused, exhausted, and unsure of what was happening energetically around you. God says that was because something was trying to block your path, but heaven pushed it away. God fought battles you didn't even know about. God says, "My child, you do not even know what danger I removed from your path, what heartbreak I prevented, what loss I turned away from your doorstep. You were protected even when you didn't ask. You were shielded even when you didn't see." God says you are safe now. Tonight's miracle is not just an opportunity, it is a shift. Something is being rewritten in the spiritual world. Your destiny, which was delayed by the negativity of others, by the jealousy of others, by the doubts you had, is being released into full motion. God says your breakthrough will not be stopped this time. The cycle has been broken. The curse has been destroyed. The spiritual blockage has been removed. Angels have already begun surrounding your home, preparing the atmosphere for what is coming. God says, "My child, what is coming to your house at 12:12 a.m. is an unexpected miracle. You will feel it energetically first, then physically, then emotionally." God says you will wake up tomorrow with clarity, with peace, with direction. Something that has confused you for months will suddenly make sense. Something you feared will dissolve. Something that was tied up will fall into place. God wants you to understand that the miracle arriving tonight is not random. It is tied to your purpose. It is tied to your identity. It is tied to who you were born to be. God says you have been under spiritual observation for a long time, not for punishment, but for protection. Angels have been watching your steps, your emotions, your decisions. God says you are more important to heaven than you realize. You are not invisible, you are not forgotten, and you are not overlooked. Heaven sees you clearly. There is a reason this message reached you today. God says your spirit has been whispering that a new season is coming, and tonight that season officially begins. God says this miracle will remove stress from your heart. It will bring a sense of relief that you haven't felt in a long time. It will confirm that God has been listening to you even when you felt unheard. God says you are stepping into a shift so powerful that people around you will feel it. God wants you to know that the miracle arriving tonight is connected to something you prayed for months ago. You might have forgotten the prayer, but heaven didn't. God says you have asked for guidance, stability, protection, love, clarity, strength, and healing, and tonight, all of it begins to manifest. Heaven is aligning things that seemed impossible. Doors that were shut are unlocking. People who walked away are being replaced with better connections. Opportunities that were blocked are opening. Money that felt stuck is moving. Your energy is being lifted, renewed, and protected. God says there is a divine reason why He chose 12:12 a.m. This number represents alignment, breakthrough, and angelic intervention. At that time, angels will finalize a spiritual document written in your favor. God says this moment will seal your blessing for the next chapter of your life. Nothing and no one will be allowed to interfere. God says you might feel emotional tonight. You might feel warmth, tingles, sudden peace, or a strong urge to pray. These are signs of divine presence. These are signs of angels entering your atmosphere. God says He will stand beside your bed tonight. He will watch over you as you sleep. No weapon formed against you will prosper. No negative force will enter your home. You are covered. You are protected. You are surrounded by light. God wants you to release all fear tonight. He says you have worried enough. You have imagined worst-case scenarios, but none of them will come true. God says, "My child, stop fearing the future, I am already there." God is ahead of you, clearing the path. God is beside you, giving you strength. God is behind you, protecting your past. God is above you, watching over you. God is within you, keeping your spirit alive. God says the miracle coming tonight is also a message. You are chosen. You are favored. You are blessed beyond what you know. There is a reason you survived things that should have broken you. There is a reason God didn't let you give up. You were meant to reach this moment. God wants you to take a deep breath and let go of everything trying to weigh you down. Release every negative thought, every painful memory, every fear from the past. Tonight is not about what hurt you, it is about what heals you. Tonight is not about who left, it is about who God is sending. Tonight is not about what went wrong, it is about what is finally going right. God says, "My child, congratulations, for you have stepped into the miracle portal." Tonight at 12:12 a.m., heaven moves in your favor, and nothing can stop what is coming. God says a blessing is arriving like a rush of light. Angels will descend with it. The energy will shift. The breakthrough will land. Your life will not stay the same. God says hold on, stay open, trust this message, and prepare your heart. Because your miracle is already on its way. God says you are safe, you are protected, and you will rise, my child. God is speaking to you in this very moment, and He is calling your spirit with an urgency that cannot be ignored. God says, congratulations, because what is being delivered into your life tonight is not ordinary, not common, not something you have seen before, and not something that can be delayed. God says tonight at 12:12 a.m., a sudden miracle is coming to your house, and if you do not open your heart to this message right now, you may miss the divine timing that has already been set in the heavens. God has aligned angels, shifted energies, and rearranged events so that something powerful, beautiful, and life-changing can reach you exactly at the moment it is meant to. God says, my child, don't ignore this. Don't scroll away. Don't delay. Your miracle has already left heaven, and it is on its way to your door. God says, you have cried quietly, you have suffered silently, and you have held pain inside your chest that no one knows about except Him. He has seen the nights when you felt exhausted and the mornings when you forced yourself to get up even when your spirit was tired. God says He has watched you fight battles that you never told anyone about, and He is proud of you for surviving everything that was meant to break you. Tonight, at 12:12 a.m., the miracle coming to your home is a reward for every tear. Every prayer, every moment of faith, and every time you held yourself together even when you were falling apart. God says this blessing is not a coincidence. This blessing is the result of your faith, your endurance, and your good heart that never stopped believing even when life tested you. God says, you are safe, nothing will go wrong, because His angels are surrounding you right now. Archangel Michael is standing guard at your door. He is clearing the path, removing dark energies, removing blockages, and making sure that nothing interferes with what God is sending you tonight. God says, trust Him. Pray to Him. Let your heart open. Let your faith rise again. Something is happening around your life that is bigger than your understanding. And even if you cannot see it yet, something divine is shifting. God says, every disappointment that confused you, every betrayal that hurt you, every delay that discouraged you, none of those things were meant to destroy you. They were meant to position you for this miracle that is coming at 12:12 a.m. My child, God says He knows your fears. He knows your doubts. He knows that sometimes you feel like your prayers go unheard, like your efforts go unnoticed, like your heart is too tired to keep hoping. But God says He has been listening to you the whole time. He has been watching you. He has been preparing something behind the scenes that will make you understand why everything had to happen the way it did. Tonight's miracle is not small, it is something that will touch your home, your finances, your relationships, and your spirit. God says this is the moment where your life begins to change direction. You have been walking through a season of testing, but you are stepping into a season of blessings. God says, remember the times when you were praying and felt like nothing was changing? He says, now you will see why He asked you to wait. The blessing coming tonight is not the kind of blessing that fades away. This is a permanent shift. A permanent healing. A permanent breakthrough. God says this miracle has your name on it and no one can steal it, delay it, or interfere with it. Even people who tried to block your progress will be shocked by what God is about to do for you. You are stepping into a divine moment that was destined for you long before you were even born. God says, you were chosen for this miracle. You were not forgotten. You were not abandoned. You were not left behind. God says the enemy tried to make you feel alone so that you would give up, but you didn't. You continued even when you were tired. You trusted even when you had reasons to doubt. You kept praying even when you felt discouraged. And God says tonight, at exactly 12:12 a.m., heaven will honor your faith. Heaven will reward your strength. Heaven will bless your patience. God says, this message is urgent because divine timing is involved. If you open your spirit to this message now, the blessing will enter your life without resistance. If you delay, the energy around you may close, and you may miss the spiritual window that has been opened for you tonight. God says, open this message fully. Read it with your heart, not just your eyes. Believe every word because it is being spoken over your life with purpose. God says, "My child, you have been protected even when you didn't realize it." There were days when something bad was heading toward you, but it was removed by divine intervention. There were people who spoke negatively about you, but God protected your name. There were moments when you almost gave up, but God breathed strength into your soul. Tonight's miracle is not only a blessing, it is a confirmation that God has been with you every step of the way. God says He is bringing a sudden change. Something that has been stuck will suddenly move. Something you have been waiting for will suddenly open. Something you thought was lost will suddenly return. Something that felt impossible will suddenly become possible. God says this is a sudden miracle because it will happen quickly, unexpectedly, and powerfully. God says, prepare your spirit. Prepare your home. Prepare your heart. Angels are moving through your space even now, cleansing the energy around you, removing negativity, and preparing room for what is coming. God says, let go of fear, let go of doubt, let go of stress. Tonight, you will feel a shift in the atmosphere, and your soul will recognize it. God says, you have been chosen for elevation. You are being lifted, protected, guided, and redirected toward your destiny. This miracle is not random, it is part of your divine path. God says He is blessing you because you stayed pure-hearted even when life was unfair. He is blessing you because you helped others even when you had little. He is blessing you because you didn't turn cold, bitter, or angry, even when people hurt you. God says your heart is special, and He has seen the goodness inside you that others sometimes ignore. God says, my child, someone is thinking of you right now. Someone who once hurt you is feeling regret. Someone who once left you is realizing your value. Someone who misunderstood you is beginning to see who you really are. God says the miracle tonight will also reveal truths about people connected to your destiny. Relationships will shift. Some people will return. Some people will apologize. Some people will suddenly distance themselves, not because something is wrong, but because God is removing them from your path so they don't interfere with your blessing. God says, you are entering a season where everything that belongs to you will begin to flow toward you. Money will flow. Opportunities will flow. Peace will flow. Love will flow. Your health will improve. Your mind will become clearer. Your spirit will feel lighter. God says tonight's miracle is the opening of a divine portal. Once it opens, blessings will begin to pour into your life one after another. My child, God says He knows you worry about the future. He knows you stress about things that feel uncertain. But He is reminding you that He is already in your future preparing the way for you. You don't have to fear anything. You don't have to doubt anything. What is written for you cannot be erased by anyone. What is destined for you cannot be taken by anyone. God says, this miracle is coming with protection, abundance, healing, and clarity. It will remove confusion from your life. It will remove spiritual heaviness. It will remove emotional pain. God says this blessing is not a temporary moment of relief, it is the beginning of a new chapter. God says, trust Him tonight. Trust Him with your heart. Trust Him with your worries. Trust Him with everything that scares you. You are not alone, and you have never been alone. God says, you are safe. Nothing will go wrong. You are covered by His light, and tonight at 12:12 a.m., my child,